Well, here we go, JD. The Judge and JD show filmed right here at Pioneer in Fredericksburg, Texas. We got horse racing and
we're going to talk some music. Fredericksburg Hill Country musical icon.
Yes.
Coming
and
on.
If you've been around here for a minute, you'll know who this guy is. He's a good one.
I'm looking forward to this one, baby. As promised on the Judge and JD show, Sammy Geistweidt will be joining us, Fredericksburg Hill Country musical icon, and a good friend of yours, Aaron Saenz.
Yes, Aaron Saenz, my buddy Aaron Saenz. We just got back from Rio, so he is a horse racing man. So in quarter horsing.
Hey, that was pretty good.
And that was pretty good. We need to take you to Rio with us.
But yeah, we'll be visiting with Aaron as well.
Yeah, got lots of good stuff this show, and so I think we got a green hat.
Oh man, y'all got lots of cool colors here.
You want to do the honors here? I think I've done the last couple of times.
All right, I'm gonna
make it a good one.
Dig deep and win a heap, or at least a cap. Oh, that one goes back in. This one's in my hand. Is that David V? What the hell is that? It's a doctor one. I can't read his writing.
I can't read it, but
can you read that?
Is it a Devin?
Devin V? Come on, Marty, help us.
Marty, but it...
Oh, it's Marty V. No. I'm kidding.
Ashley will find you. Ashley will find you. She's got your phone number, and we got a nice green Pioneer.
Oh, there was a phone number on there.
It is. It's David V.
David.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my glasses.
Well, David V.
Dr. David V.
Where did you see doctor?
No, doctors don't write good. Isn't
oh, okay.
Joke?
I was about to say, where did you see doctor? I'm reading David V.
There's the old joke, doctors don't write well. Anyway,
we didn't pick up on that.
But
we're a little dense.
You're young. You're too young. It's an old joke, So, all right, man. I'm looking forward to the show today. It's going to be a lot of fun.
This will be a good one. And I think this is our 17th, right?
Are we on number 17
already? And I just have to say we appreciate our viewers, our guests, our team. I mean, it's
our community.
Yeah, the community of Fredericksburg. I love it. Well, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's bring on Aaron Saenz here in a little bit and talk some horse racing. And back to the Judge and JD show. And I guess I'm just going to be chopped liver on this segment because, well, Judge has a good friend on. A business friend or just a good friend?
I don't even really know how to describe
friend,
it.
Buddy, pal, amigo?
Yeah, something like that. Full of shit. Yeah, that kind of thing. Just somebody I came across on a horse racing track somewhere. And
I think you should use the term friend lightly.
Lightly.
I say fungus because Aaron's like fungus. He grows on you.
It's only Friday, and the weekend's not here yet. It's just upon us, but the shit's getting kind of deep. So
yep.
It is. I'm ready for it.
So where are you at?
So I'm back here in Dallas, Judge. Got to spend a little bit of time. I don't know what you want to talk about. You tell me where we want to go. I know we got to spend a little time last weekend up in New Mexico. Spent a little time in Ruidoso and Albuquerque. For those of you all who aren't too familiar with horse racing, Ruidoso hosts annually since 1959 its quarter horse version of the Kentucky Derby. It's a race for 2-year-olds called the All-American Fraternity with a purse of $3 million. Unfortunately, for the second year in a row, it was rained out in Ruidoso and moved to Albuquerque. But Judge and I had the opportunity to go out there and see some old friends, meet some new friends, and enjoy some much cooler weather than we're experiencing here in Texas, although not too bad out today.
Did y'all get to bet the ponies at all, or?
Oh yeah, we did, and
we did, JD. If it wasn't,
sorry, I think I cut you off there, Aaron. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say if it wasn't for bad luck, I don't know that we'd had any luck betting the ponies.
Well, we did get lucky. We did have a visitor. We had old Marty stop by, so that was nice. But yeah, what I mean, so for our viewers who are probably not overly well versed in horse racing, other than betting a $2 exacta or quinella and so forth. I mean, you tell us a little bit about the breeder, the structure of it, the breeders, the trainers, the jockeys, all the horses, of course, how all that works.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this year, Judge, we were lucky enough to have somebody from the Hill Country, Mr. Rick Young, and some partners from Comfort had a horse in the All-American fraternity. Unfortunately, they finished fourth, but they ran a heck of a race, and that's the first race that their horse Investor has lost this year. So the Hill Country was very well represented and has been represented up in Ruidoso in some of these big races for a long time. But back to your point, Judge, these are quarter horses. The kind of the furthest or the championship yardage that they run is 440 yards, so a quarter of a mile. Like I said, this was their version of the Kentucky Derby. You had the ladies wearing hats and tables were decorated.
Any mint juleps in the mix?
I'm sorry?
Any mint juleps in the mix?
Not any mint juleps, but I believe there was plenty of cocktails, beer, wine, and definitely some champagne in the mix. JD, we don't stray too far from the bourbon here in Texas and in New Mexico, but a lot of fun. Like I said, quarter horses strictly they just run down the track. This year the winning horse came from was bred in New Mexico actually, but has some Texas connections. Named King. His name is King of the Tide, and not a bad deal. JD and Judge, he ran for 21 seconds and picked up a cool $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's not a bad lick.
No. If I could make $1.5 million in 21 seconds, I'd be a billionaire.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit. There's a lot of competition out there. In the programs, and they show you their racing statistics, their past histories and so forth. Some of them show what they paid at these auctions for these horses, and I just wanted to say, for example, the horse he's talking about, number 4, Investor, is owned by an individual here in Comfort, Texas, right down the road from us.
Hill Country, like you said.
Yeah, Hill Country, well represented. But I mean, I think that horse that showed in the program, if I remember right, Aaron, was $28,000, and there were some $200,000, $150,000 horses in there. Oh man! It just goes to show. I mean, we saw this weekend at a horse auction, him and Sammy and myself. A horse sell for what, $785,000. So it's just that $28,000 one might just it's a unique sport, but for those of us that aren't terribly into it, the cool thing, it's kind of like betting $20 on a football game or something. It's a front row seat of the game at that point, and so it's just a fun sport. Aaron got me into it. And so Aaron's program is a little bit different, I think. I mean, you can detail that a little more, but Aaron's both a breeder and he also has racing age. And am I saying that correctly, Aaron?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just had the fortune to be around horse racing all my life. My father, grandfather, my uncles were all in horse racing, and just kind of got bit by the bug and got into it, and got to spend a lot of time out in Gillespie County and the surrounding areas, and really fell in love with the horses, and not only just the racing part but the breeding part. As Judge said, we had a couple horses sell for over $700,000, and I got to thinking, hey, wouldn't it be nice to sell one of those instead of saving up the money to buy one 20 years from now, 30 years from now. So kind of that's how we got into this deal, but but hey, you guys are no strangers to some of these big races. I mean, I know the Gillespie County Fair is the longest continuous running fair in Texas, 137 years, I believe. And you guys just wrapped up your horse racing for the year with the big futurity there, $182,000 Gillespie County Fair futurity. So, I know all you listeners out there, especially around here in the Hill Country, you are no stranger to big races. And Judge and JD, you all can correct me. You've been around that area much longer than I have, but I think I've steadily seen the purses and the prizes of these races there at the county fair go up.
They have.
Yeah.
Which is surprising here in Texas because it seems like a lot of those purses go down.
Right.
Our track here is run all by volunteers, and the cool thing is all the proceeds go to kiddos.
Well, I remember the track too, and I don't know, you're quite a bit younger than I am, but I remember when I was working at KNAF and we would broadcast out there before it was pari-mutuel. Like I joked on a podcast of the past, I'm sure they were betting even odd in the stands. I'm sure there was some betting going on, but they would actually just run them for entertainment.
Yeah.
You
you
didn't have the pari-mutuel windows and stuff like that. So you're right. It's been going on for a long time out here.
It has. And a lot of the history of horse racing started here in Fredericksburg, out in Morse Ranch. And we actually had a trainer, in late 1800s who helped start things, was huge in Kentucky and so forth. So it was a big thing around here, even going way back. So, but yeah, Aaron and I and multiple friends over the years, and we've made a lot of friends out there. What do you think about 20 years now? We've been going out there, and
yeah, we've been going to Ruidoso now for just about 20 years. And like Judge just mentioned, we've made some really good friends. We've continued to learn more about horse racing. Like I said, if you see the growth just at the county fair there in Gillespie County there in Fredericksburg, I mean, you're seeing that exponential growth throughout the country with quarter horse racing. I know maybe some of the thoroughbred racing is shoring up to just a couple of big tracks, mostly in the south and northeast. But I mean, quarter horse racing is alive and doing well, as you can see by the sale results. And JD and Judge, we want to make sure that those horses that were purchased for, I mean, there's plenty purchased for over 100,000. They've never run before. They've never had a jockey on top of them. They've never had a saddle on them. So you're just paying for the privilege of earning this well-bred filly or colt.
Right.
And there's some that JD, I think maybe you and I could outrun that have been purchased, for a lot of money. So it's just having a little bit of luck as well.
Well, let's not attempt that. We need JD here on the podcast, and I'm not sure there'd be much left.
I can't even walk, much less run. But what about the training side? Do you have trainers that you personally recommend, and what kind of training do these quarter horses go through?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to it.
Yeah, so we're fortunate to have here in Texas and surrounding states some of the best trainers in the country. JD, the young man, I call him a young man because he's younger than I am, that won it this year. His name is Trey Wood, that won the All-American Futurity. This is one cool thing that I really thought about that I thought was cool was his grandfather won the All-American Futurity with Pie in the Sky. I believe it was back in the 70s. His father has won it twice with Apocalyptical Jess and with just a phenomenal filly named Whistle Stop Cafe, owned by Lainey Whitmire, who has just an excellent breeding operation. And now his son has won it. So you have 3 generations of trainers that have won the All-American.
That's a great story.
Yep. Speaking of like you named Blaney there, I mean, these are just the friendliest, nicest people. And, these are the sort of icons in the industry. And Aaron and I've gotten to know him over the years. I kind of tag along. Aaron's in the business now. But, man, these people just welcome you with open arms and really want to teach you about the program. They love it, Would you agree with that, Aaron?
That's 100% true. And, one of the other things, I'm glad you brought that up, Judge. And JD, thank you for that question, because I think, without trainers, you just have horses, right? They're not doing anything.
That's correct.
They don't know which way to go or what they should be doing. But these people that Judge and I have continued to meet over the last 20 years have just been very welcoming. It's a community. It's almost a family. A lot of those folks we don't see but once a year, but when we see them, it's just like having the same conversation
it's fun.
that we're having now. That's fun. And the other thing is getting young people involved. To all you young people that are out there that are interested in whether it's horse racing or barrel racing or breeding, if you start going to sales, you're starting to see the age of the average age of the owners, should I say, kind of moving upward. And so I think it's important that we get some younger folks into the business. I think, I always tell Judge, as a judge, we walk into a room, sometimes we lower we're the youngest in there by 20 years. And I can assure you, we are no spring chickens.
Yeah. That's kind of the way I feel here on the podcast with Marty and JD. I'm the youngest by decades, but no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a cool thing to go do. My grandfather had a horse run at All-American. My family's been in horses forever. I don't know if I would have gone to this level if Aaron wouldn't have got me into it. And man, it's just been a cool thing.
And I didn't realize that about your family.
My family,
we haven't even talked about that.
My dad said no horses because he grew up with them. He said, I don't want no horses around here. But I kind of changed my mind on that a little bit. But yeah, no, we're going back forever. North Texas, Southern Oklahoma, we've been big horse guys. So
it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do with your family as well. There's a lot of young families, there's kids, and it's something that you can definitely do as a couple, as a family, get involved together, and it's something that you all get to do and go out. And I've got two boys, and they're always wanting to go out and see our horses and hang out with them. But it's a pretty cool thing. I mean,
yes, when you think of horse racing and track and all that, I guess you don't think family, but I mean it's a big family thing that everybody loves. And Aaron, two things are really out there when we get in these conversations with these folks that have been in the industry forever and so forth. I think one of their biggest concerns is getting young people in the industry, and it is an expensive sport. But to our viewers, if you do find it interesting, there are ways to get involved in syndicates and so forth, where you don't have to go buy a $50,000 horse.
Right. Yeah.
You can get into partnerships with 10 people, 20 people, 5 people. There's different ways to do it to where it's still money, but you don't. You see these big numbers, you don't have to attack them all right away, and you don't ever have to attack them. I mean, but so you can get involved at different levels is the point.
That's a great point.
Aaron,
team up.
Yeah,
right?
team up, and it makes it more fun that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Getting a few partners together and gives you something to do on the weekend, something to cheer for. Again, we definitely need some younger people in the industry. But I mean, hey, y'all look outside the window. I mean, we're here in the hill country. There's plenty of pasture space. There's some good hay around. Horse racing isn't the only thing you can do with the quarter horse, right? And so, we've had some good quarter horses. We've probably had a majority of not so fast ones. I'm sure Kristen can attest to that and likes to needle us a little bit.
Yeah, but not all winners. We'll put it that way.
They are not all winners like us, JD. We're all winners here, but unfortunately, not all of our horses have been. But
like halter and barrel racing and so forth, like we spoke with Lainey, Miss Whitmire while we were out there. I think she's got a big barrel racing event coming up in Fort Worth. And so there's halter shows. There's all kinds of things your quarter horse is the cowboy's horse, right? It was the working horse. It was a working man's horse, and then kind of like rodeo and all that, they developed it into a sport, and we're still here today.
And then what about the thoroughbred for those people like me who don't know the difference?
So thoroughbreds, thoroughbreds is the pedigrees go back even further. They're long, they're taller, lankier, they run longer distance, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's I mean, both horses, two different kinds of sports. Would you agree with that, Aaron?
I would. JD, those thoroughbreds are like us, skinny, long, fast.
Yeah.
Kind of
The camera's not doing you any favors there, Bubba.
Definitely not the shorter, squatty type horse that quarter horses are. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're into quarter horse racing, you're into thoroughbred racing. I think both industries need some younger folks to kind of start being able to pick up the torch as we move forward.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of things you can do with your kids on the weekend, things like that. But there is life after racing. I know there's some folks that say, well, the horses aren't treated very well. I can assure you that these horses are treated better than any of the three of us.
Oh, absolutely. I know that.
Treated
for sure.
very well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they are pampered. They are put in, they have the best medical attention. But
very expensive medical attention.
Yeah, at the end of their careers, they make good riding horses for the kids, and again, lots of things to do with them after their racing career is done.
It is. It's a great thing. I know you got to rush off to a meeting and all that, but for our viewers, where would you send them? And I'll just finish by saying I would send them to your good friends and our good friends there at Track Magazine, maybe to start with, to follow, to kind of learn more about the industry.
Yeah, if you guys want a periodical to read that Judge and I read a lot, it's available online. They're not paying me, Ben. If you watch this, happy to take a check.
They're good people, though.
Ben Hudson and his wife run Track Magazine. Go to their website, trackmagazine.com, I believe. They are just have a first-class type of periodical magazine. They also do online content. They've kind of started doing emails that are interactive and putting races on there. So if you want to learn more, Track Magazine is a great start, a great spot. They have a lot of ads in there for different stallions, different ranches. If you want to be more involved, and I know, guys, y'all always like to talk about things people can do upcoming. If for all of you listeners out there, if you want to catch some live races and want to get out of town for a little bit, Lone Star Park here in Dallas starts racing tonight, Friday. I believe the 5th is their first race here in Dallas. They'll run every weekend, I believe, through the end of October. Mm-hmm. And come see the Dallas Cowboys, come see some races, come to Six Flags. It's a couple things to do up here in Dallas.
Man, that sounds like a hell of a vacation day, man, or a staycation.
Yeah, we need to get up there. I might see some wins at the track. I don't know about the Cowboys game, but anyway. But yeah, we appreciate it, Aaron. Like I say, it's just something we just fell in love with, and the people out there are just what really make it. The people and the horses, right? Like it and the weather, but. It's just a fun thing to get into, and there's one story I love. I won't drop any names here, but former teacher, right, public school teacher, and decided he wanted to get into it. Made a few phone calls, put together some partners, and now he's got a big program. So anybody can get into it. Anybody can get into it. So
well, I learned a lot from you too. Thank you, Aaron. I learned a lot on this show today.
Hey, Judge. Before I leave you guys, I wanted to share with you the name of that barrel racing challenge. It's the Breeders' Challenge here in Fort Worth. I believe it starts next week. And we're talking about families. There's stuff for all the kids to do, whether you're a boy, you're a girl. You can definitely get involved in the quarter horse world. And like I said, guys, thanks for having me. I'm happy to come back and talk all things Desperate Housewives, The Bachelor, in my infinite wisdom, which is not very deep. happy to share all that I don't know with you.
Well, send us, like I was saying, Paula will put it up. If you could send us a picture of that baby that we've been talking about that you got. And we'll be bugging you here in the next few weeks for some more bullshit.
You can come on anytime.
Awesome. Thank you all for having me. And you all have a great weekend. And I'm going to leave you with this. Don't do anything.
That leaves it wide open.
That's pretty much anything. Thanks, Aaron.
We'll see you guys. Bye, JD. Bye, Judge.
And as promised on the Judge and JD show, we got a wonderful music guest today, Judge.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, a lot of Fredericksburg history here. A lot of, some of our guests we've already had on kind of learn from this guy. How about one of those? Bring him on.
All right, here we go. Without further ado, Fredericksburg / Hill Country musical icon, Sammy Geistweidt. Yeah. How you doing, Sammy?
I'm doing fine, y'all.
Sammy.
Oh, man, good to have you in here, Sammy. I tell you what, your name has come up, like Judge said in the intro, on a couple of podcasts from people who have learned from you.
Yeah, it's really cool. And
you're one of them.
Sitting right here.
That's it. And, in my youth, growing up, watching you and the Wagon Aces and all that, so it's good to have you up here. It's kind of nostalgic for me to bring you on.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's an honor. Thank you all for asking me and stuff.
Well, let's talk about the guitar clinic first.
Okay.
That was the business you had here in Fredericksburg. You sold musical instruments, but you also gave lessons.
We did that. Originally, we started about 1973 when we started and stuff. And then over the years, I guess we got about 1985 is when we changed over, and I got out of the business or closed it and stuff, and then we started a dress shop, and so we just closed that a few years ago and stuff. But it was a lot of young boys that come by all the time.
Yeah.
I was going to say we recently had Stephen Longhenny on the show.
Yeah.
And then we had Clyde Pale is in both of my bands, Ghost Town and Pistol Peak, and then Robert Waymeyer. He wouldn't sing.
No,
I guess but Sammy made people sing, Judge. Because, but I mean, that's not made, but kinda. You were pretty.
No, I pushed it pretty heavy all the time, trying to read notes and things like that. I always said that'll come later, And a lot of them they wanted to sing, and I said, well, you have to start in the very beginning, and some of them found out they thought I didn't know what I was talking about, and then all of a sudden, let's say a year later, they wanted to start singing with it. They couldn't sing.
Right.
They couldn't sing and put the music together at the same time, so it was kind of, then they realized that I wasn't joking, so.
Well, Stephen, he thanked you on the podcast he said he was really glad you got him to sing it,
Yeah.
And getting lyrics, Judge, back then, this is before your time. We didn't have lyrics. We couldn't just Google the lyrics.
I dreamt about it all the time. KNEF, we'd be bugging them to death up there all the time. There'd be a song, because that's what I thought. I'd get songs off the radio and would teach people to play them and sing them and stuff like that. And you always had to wait for them. Had a cassette, waiting for them to play it and stuff, and then are you all going to play that song again? Well, you've already called 4 or 5 times,
Trying to get the lyrics off the cassette. I love it. And you always had our music with the chords on it. You had the lyrics.
Yeah, I did all of that. Yeah.
And you would print us copies of it to bring home and practice on. And
the teacher. That's cool.
He was a music teacher of a lot of hill country artists.
Oh, yeah. It was quite interesting. But then it just got to be too much. Playing took over quite a bit back then, and so that and trying to ranch, having babies in the family took a lot of the time and stuff. But no, I did a lot after that, with the music business and stuff like that.
Well, when did the Wagon Aces form? Was the Wagon Aces your first band, or
actually,
when did you actually get started in?
Music started at Dawes, Texas.
Okay.
Miss Edna Krimnugger, she was the music teacher, played piano and stuff. So that's where I got my start, playing guitar and stuff. And thought I was the greatest there ever was at that time, But, and then as it went on, got into high school and stuff, we had a group called Acapulco Banditos that we went to state with the FFA, and it was quite interesting. Bernie Moore was from Central Texas, would always drive us everywhere back then in those days.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the one big one that we were in, Fort Worth, I guess, is where we were at the FFA contest. We had played, and so we thought, they said we were second, so it was like we were leaving, packed up, and we're already out in the parking lot. And all this, no, it was a tie. Here we are in the packed up.
Already packed up.
So we had to go all the way back. So, but anyway, we still came in second.
Break
so
the
we
tie.
But anyway.
Went back and tried, huh?
Yeah, how old were you? You were in high school at this time, you said,
yeah,
right?
we were in high school, yeah. And then it was the Silver Strings, which was Clifford Jacoby, Biggie Coleman, and Kenny Ersch was the little one playing drums.
Kenny.
back there.
He's still drumming, isn't he? A little bit?
No, Kenny Ersch, no, he passed. He's gone, I think.
Oh, he did pass away.
Yeah.
I'll be dang. I didn't realize
And,
that. I didn't
he was just a
realize.
little guy
Yeah.
playing away on drums and stuff, and everybody was always amazed. They let him play Wipeout and stuff back in the
Wipe
day.
out.
But he was going all over the place on the drums. There you go. That's it. But then was the Wagon Aces. Got started, and I guess high school 69, 70, somewhere in there, and then
Since the
they
60s,
gradually-
late 60s.
I inherited kind of the singing part from that we had a lead singer out of San Antonio and stuff. I mean Bernie, I'm sorry. And one day we had a job. I got there and they handed me the book and said, well, "You're singing." The other guy left. So I thought, boy. So anyway, it's been that until about 1985. Then Scott came in. We went with Southern Image and stuff, and we played that for a while.
Southern Image, y'all
Played.
played a heck of a lot around here. A lot, same
Yeah.
places, kind of Crystal Peak, Ed's,
Yeah.
River Palace,
Yeah.
Long Branch,
All those
Pat's Hall. We got to talk Pat's Hall.
Yes, Pat's Hall. That was the big one and stuff. We always laugh about it. It's not really funny, but we were in competition back then in the early days with George Strait. You know, we were playing a lot of the places, and then we'd always end up being at Pat's Hall, and then George was playing a couple, like the Pioneer Pavilion out there, different places here, and we'd always pull the crowd, but then all of a sudden it changed. And but no, Pat's Hall, that was a great. Spent a lot of time there with the Wagon Aces. Mainly that, like I said, we went to work with the Wagon Aces. Did with Curtis Potter for 7 years, and we were on the road for him for all those 7 years and stuff. And took us,
I remember when you did that.
yeah, it took us places to all over, and so it was exciting.
And I don't want to jump around too much, but the Wagon Aces, you guys had singles out on 45.
Yeah,
and you
we
had
had
songs that were on national radio, right?
Yeah, we had some. I had one that I wrote that was like a memory like a jukebox that got played a lot. And it's just, then it kind of deteriorated, and we worked on a lot of, we had another good set going, a recording session going with Bill Green in San Antonio. And then things happened, and so we never finished that project and stuff. It's the way the musician life is, I guess. But everybody kind of went, and so. But I always I've been surrounded by super pickers. I'm very blessed. I come from Dallas, Texas. But I've always had super players around me. Gosh, it's been.
Well, Rome Hill comes to my mind.
And Rome is playing real big now with a lot with Justin Trevino, and he's on there, and then. Like I say, Rome played for me, and then Benny Copeman, the
Benny.
steel player, he was with the Bandoliers for a while. And, and then Shane Lively, I can name them all. Shane Lively, he started drumming for us. Now he's big with the Opry bands. I mean, playing at the Opries and stuff, and a lot with Darryl McCall, and they were just in town the other week.
Right, at the fairgrounds.
That was Shane and stuff. And now I have Mike Bailey out of Junction and Robert Beam playing for me, and so Scott Hoffman is playing bass.
Scott Hoffman.
Yeah,
Scott's great.
So
Good family friend. Great.
Yeah, so we all been very fortunate. A lot of the music, we still stay the traditional type. A lot of it, we do the news, some of it, But if it's not dance music, we won't waste our time on it because we're a dance band and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, want people out there two-stepping.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the past shows we were talking about, just seeing these dance halls slowly, just for lack of a better term, kind of dying off a little bit, is kind of depressing a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But the Wagon Aces, you all play regularly. They bring dance hall night to Fredericksburg.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a group of people who have put this together. It kind of evolved around Pat's Hall when they were doing a little reunion out at Pat's Hall.
175th anniversary is where it all started. Pat's Hall night is where it all originated out of and stuff.
But y'all play tomorrow night. At Dance Hall night. But tonight, you're going to be at Lukenbach.
Yeah.
Tonight, Lukenbach.
Yeah, we'll be at Lukenbach.
The Wagon Aces.
Yeah. It's amazing. We started, I call it a wave. We started with Hannah Crouch in 1973.
Oh yeah?
And 73. And this was back in the Super Bowl days. It was different back then.
All right, the 70s. But so that's awesome, Sammy. Tell us a little bit. So you got to experience
I got to experience
be around Hondo. Not too many people can say that.
No, Hondo was we spent I don't know how many years we played. And he was always come up on stage, had his hat on, and would sing a Rancho Grande or something like that, and had his big jacket on and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. And then one time we always said, and I don't know how many. I always said it was 1,000, but the people were there from parked at Hana, at looking all the way up on the highway.
Oh right.
And so we were making like $200. For 5 people. Now I told them I'd like to have another $50, you're gonna break me, So it kind of after, but no, I can go on. Well, there's so much with Hana. There when Sangria Wine came in with the introduction of Sangria Wine, and oh my Lord, it was a while after.
Oh, Jerry Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy, No, I've had a lot of good players. Little Don Crider, he was with
I remember Don.
Doug Supernog, and super guitar steel man, and played fiddle and stuff. And I've had good ones, And David Grennan, David Grennan was the early one of a steel player that lived in Bernie, and he was with the early Wagon Aces and stuff. And he got his steel and from Don Pack and Delvia Music in San Antonio. But anyway, what I'm getting, he practiced, got so good and stuff. He went to work for Mo Bandy for a while.
Oh wow!
And so Mo Bandy and Frenchie Burke and all them so they've always left me behind, But no, it's all been a good ride. So
you play dang near. How many instruments do you actually play? You play.
I'm a doodler, I guess. I play guitar. Fiddle and mandolin has really become my big love. And
Corby Shaw from here. He was in my class. He's a big mandolin player.
Yeah.
He was in Ryan Bingham's band and all that. But mandolin, is big.
It's gotten. I like that. I enjoy that. And play bass, some piano. If I'd have started a long time, but I wanted steel, but then it just I got into it for a while and stuff, and then I got away from it. It's just too much, That's why.
Johnny Shue plays the steel here quite a bit.
Yeah.
That looks like a hard. I'm not a musician, but it looks like a hard instrument to play. You don't see it a lot anymore.
True.
You don't see the fiddle and the steel anymore like we did.
We're very fortunate. Where we go, you better have a steel. Well,
yes,
steel
and I love the fiddle and steel.
I know. The story is long time ago back at London Hall in London, Texas. That band came in and they didn't have a fiddle in the band. People threw them out the back door. So that was.
But Alabama pretty much nailed it. If you're going to play in Texas, dadgummit, you better have a fiddle.
But times the music business is changing.
A lot.
Like I say, going back to the dance halls, they've closed up, so many of them, and a lot of it, I guess it's just laws. For one thing, it scares, people want to, like Cherry Springs, my Lord, that was such a good place, and there's so many of
Not
them.
a lot of Ubers in Cherry Springs. You know
Not-
what I mean?
not
a lot
these
of Ubers
days.
in Cherry Springs. So yeah, that's kind of that did. I don't know if you remember in the 70s, the 80s, early 90s. My dad had a bar in Stonewall called Coaches, and that really complicated things.
Yeah.
I mean, there was when the drinking and driving became a thing. It really shut a lot of
it's
those
slowed it up.
outliers out. Here in
It's-
town, we just call up an Uber and go. But
Yeah.
it wasn't the case in the 70s.
Right.
Well, in the early days, there was somebody, the sheriff would stop you, he'd just tell you, go home, boys.
Yeah.
But if I see you out here again,
I don't think they have that kind of
No, not
discretion
anymore.
anymore.
Things have certainly changed, but that's truly
Yeah.
how it was.
How it
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
There wasn't any. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just
You'd
the
pull
way.
into my dad's bar there in Stonewall, and there'd be tractors pulled in there, horse tied off. And that was in the early 90s, late 80s. But yeah, no, it was just a different time.
yeah,
Different time.
it was all good. Yeah.
What's one of your favorite, let's say, highlights in your musical career? What do you think that one or two things that just you're super
biggest
proud
thing
of or super big?
super big for me? I guess we spent 7 years with Curtis, and Curtis, our biggest adventure with Curtis is the fact that we got to go to Joe Freeman Coliseum, and we opened up with Reba McEntire.
Oh, cool.
And so it was Charlie Pride was there, and Johnny Rodriguez, and it was quite an evening. It was big things for us.
So you got to back them up.
Well,
musically?
no, we played with Kurt.
played the show. Oh, played with Curtis. Okay.
Yeah, and then then the others came on, and we were.
But I guess that crowd, right? That
Yeah, it was
big
quite,
audience out there.
It was quite different.
I've been to a million concerts just like you guys, and I'm around music all the time. But my favorite probably concert I ever went to was Charlie Pride.
Yeah.
It was the Austin Rodeo, and it was just phenomenal. You
Yeah.
were talking about with it.
And so there's a number of big things. We always wanted to do we did a lot of the KKYX River Festival.
I
back in
remember
the-
KKYX.
I remember those
Yeah,
River
well,
And we
well,
got
it
to
was-
play the Arneson River Theater, the big stage with Curtis. That's the big stage on the river. And but we did a lot of the boats things too. We did a lot of things, but the highlight in my life, I would say, would be doing that big show with him. That was quite an event. So
I love it.
scary, but
I would imagine.
but it was fun. We survived it and made it home. We always laughed about the fact we got there, and pulled into there, with a trailer and the van and the trailer and stuff. We didn't have to do anything. Everybody unloaded. They had guys that did all the loading and loading up and stuff like that, and it
You used to lugging your own stuff.
everybody
Huh?
was used to doing their own thing. Yeah.
You had roadies, but it wasn't William and Anthony roadie. It was real roadies.
It was a real people.
We need to have the roadies on here.
Yeah.
You want to stop by and get a cup of coffee with those guys.
No,
You're going to be there for a minute. Those are great guys.
They said, "Oh, you can't touch the stuff. That's we couldn't touch our own equipment. They had to take it all of it."
Oh man, how about that?
Yeah, it was quite interesting, but no, it was good.
Got the treatment. Got the star treatment.
Yeah.
Well, can you play us a song? What you gonna play for us?
I
I'm
don't
glad
know.
you brought your guitar with you
I
today.
know. Appreciate you
That's
bringing
whatever you like to hear. I got a bunch of the Bubba Littrell song I could do, or whatever you
Bubba
like.
Littrell, man.
Yeah.
Talk about Pat Song and Bubba
You
Littrell.
do. My nights have been lonely, 'cause I've been in Tulsa County, and I'm feeling like I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just mosey down along the southern border. Anything to get me far away from you. Got your note to Charleston saying, babe, I really need you. And when I got there, you didn't need me then. It doesn't take a wise man to know the life you're living. I'll just be on my way now. say you love me, and you feel it all so sorry, but it hurts too much this time to even cry. So I'll think of the good times we almost made it. Yes, I'll think of you, but now kiss me goodbye. Oh, I don't know where I'll go. I'm gonna head on down to Mexico, down to Mexico.
Sammy Geistweidt on the Judge and JD show. Amazing. By golly, doing some Bubba Littrell. I remember his mustache.
Oh, yeah.
I was a kid. All these great memories. Pat was my uncle.
Yeah.
Pat. My mom, Rosie, was a waitress. Vernell. Puda.
Yeah.
Puda Maura
Yeah.
was the bartender. Who was the bouncer? Clanner? Was there a Clanner?
Coleman.
Coleman.
Yeah. And
Big old Coleman. Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond Coleman.
Raymond Coleman.
Yeah. And then Red Fiddler came in there, and we always laughed. Didn't laugh. It wasn't fun, but he always had a great big pistol on the side of his hip, and he was leaning and stuff like that. And then Pat always sat in the corner. He was a wise man as to being a club owner. He sat in the corner and let everybody around and do the work. Stayed out of people's.
He sat there. Maybe had what are those little Lone Star keg beers?
I don't
was
know.
A keg beer
he just stayed out of the
right
out of the limelight. He sat on his chair and let everybody else do the work, and they had a problem or something. He let somebody else, handle it. He stayed out of it, because there's a few places that got. Some of them should have left it alone,
I see Sammy around here, this place. They make me do all the work. They just watch me.
I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. I'm calling bullshit.
Oh, that's funny, but I do remember. Thank you for playing Bubba Littrell. But one thing I do remember about. Pat would also invite like George Chambers and those guys over to his house after, and we'd have dried venison, deer sausage and butter bread, good old German. But just sit there with, and I was just a kid, I was probably 6, 7, 8 years old, because and I just remember remember those times where
it was playing around the old oak tree, those days are all memory, that's never have that again, but glad to have lived through it.
Yes,
been part of it, and let's put it like that. And
we did have a great area to grow up in. Fredericksburg is awesome now, and it always will be. But just we got to experience the early days of Fredericksburg and how it evolved.
Hunting season come, they had paper bags over the parking meters.
That was a little before my time.
Oh, really? No.
Parking meters.
I don't think we had parking. I don't remember parking meters.
No. I guess it's.
But they did that just
for the hunting, welcome the hunters.
Welcome hunters. Don't worry about your penny.
Yeah, just come
or whatever.
Spend your money. Spend your money here.
I forgot about the dadgum parking meters.
No.
Kristen's. I would say would be like a great uncle, and his last name was Peter. So it's inevitable. Sherman Durst told me this a long time ago. It's inevitable. He was Peter the meter reader. So I don't.
That sounds like Sherman Durst.
Sherman told me that, and it's one of Kristen's family members. And it's stuck in my head.
Oh, that's classic. That is high five on that one, man.
I don't know how that memory came back.
That is legendary. And that's what I love about the show. I know I sound like a damn broken record, but the show has been, and thank you for, it just brings back so many great memories having folks like Sammy in and just talking about the old times too.
We had the good times. There was, like I say, the music business has just really has changed. You know, we've been through that before. Like in the '80s, mid '80s and stuff. We went through the wave of, you know, how things were changing and stuff, and because there were so many dance halls. You know, I mean, for us all the time we had Sonny Henderson, we had Pat's, we had Sonny Henderson, which was the Cabaret Club.
Out in Bandera, or where was
Bandera,
that? Yeah.
Cabaret Club, and then we had two, the Waterhole and Kerrville. I don't know if you remember that one. The Waterhole.
Now I do.
Waterhole. And
you mentioned Ed's earlier. That was my stomping grounds in
Ed's
the
River
90s,
Palace,
early 90s.
Yeah, we started first with Ed's when he was up the road at the old one.
What was that called? 281
281 Club. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
281
Yeah,
Club.
and then they moved. Had the big one down there and stuff, and so we played. Back in that time, we were actually Southern Image back then, and we were running about 75% rock back then at that time. You know, in country on, and then Scott, he went to Nashville and recorded stuff. You know, and
Sure
came
did.
back.
He sure did.
Yeah, and has good stuff's come out. And like I say, Bill is Young is the one that wrote a number of my songs that I recorded.
Long-Legged Women in Dallas was a Bill Young song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you record that one?
Yeah, I recorded it. I didn't get rich off of it, but like I said, Memory Like a Jukebox really took off for me. And back then, the jukebox was still a big thing in beer joints and stuff like that, and it got played. And then it faded and stuff. But I did that one at Joey Records in San Antonio. I had Tony Pickens was on it, George Chambers. That was some of the guys that played on that one. Jerry Blanton.
Another great steel guitar player.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah, and a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
One of the nicest guy you would ever meet.
Super like that and stuff. So, and well, let's see. On Memory Like a Jukebox, it was the Wagon Aces that played that one. I'm sorry, better take that back. It was Benny Copeman playing the steel on it and stuff. I can't remember all the people back
Just
then.
a lot of great players, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, a lot of good people.
All right. Well, you can catch the Wagon Aces tonight. It's the free dance at Lukenbach tonight. There's no charge, 7 o'clock?
7 to 10.
We might have to make it out there.
Yeah,
And,
right.
Then
I live right down the road.
yeah. And Saturday night we'll be here in town. So,
Saturday night, downtown, Market Plots, dance all night.
The
Dance all night tomorrow night. Yeah.
Good time, 7 to 10 there also. No, I'm saying 7 to 11.
7 to 11.
Yeah.
That's been a huge success.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been a good deal. So.
Well, Sammy, thank you for
All right,
joining us.
thank you all for having me. Appreciate it very much.
No, we
Appreciate you coming in and swapping some good old stories and good old memories.
Lots of memories. You know?
It's a sign of I'm young yet, so.
It's all right here.
Yeah,
it's all right here is where it's at. Appreciate it, Sammy.
Okay, well, thank y'all.
Thanks, Sammy.
You bet.
Well, that was a great show, guys. We had JD up here dancing, getting ready for the weekend, and all that.
It's Friday.
It is Friday, so big weekend ahead. Anyway, thank you for coming on, and this was a good one.
Make sure you like, subscribe, get notified, and comment on the shows. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and it helps us out. And watch the entire show. Watch it about 150 million times.
Just leave it on. Just set it on repeat.
Leave it.
Yeah, just put it on repeat.
We want to thank Sammy Geistweidt for coming in, and your good friend Aaron Saenz.
Yep.
Aaron
We
Saenz.
appreciate it very much, and we'll be back next week with another good group of people.
18. We're
18
getting
next
closer
week.
to legal 21.
21.
Pretty soon we're going to be at 21, but show 18 next week already.
Yep. Good stuff.